Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Monday, March 31st, the final day of March. We got April baseball beginning this week. Uh-oh. Hang on just a second. We got audio in the background there. Sorry, gotta take care of that. It's early in the season for me, too. First series of the season in the books, and 3-0. As Joe Girardi would say, it's what you want. I mentioned a few times before that I watch the games differently now that I'm doing the podcast than if I would when I was a fan. You know, when something happens in the game, I have to take down the game notes. You know, somebody hits a home run, I got to go seek out the exit velocity and, you know, things like that. I have to get some stats and do all the visuals that go along with it. So usually I have to watch the games, you know, in front of my computer or on the couch with a couple of computers, you know, laptop, iPad in front of me. I have this device called the Apple Vision Pro, which is amazing for watching sports and movies. But I was upset because last year I didn't really get to do it because you can't really take notes in it, right? You can't really, I mean, you can, it's just very difficult and it slows you down and I can't go back and forth to the computer. But what I've started doing, and if you have the AVP, this is great. I go to watch the Yankees Avenue highlights from Dan Rourke. And they're usually like 10 to 15 minutes long, which is like the perfect watch session in one of those things because they're kind of heavy. And I basically re-experience the game in the morning. So that's actually, I've been watching that to get ready for these voicemail shows in the morning, just to keep the game kind of fresh in my mind. And I got to say, it was really enjoyable watching all of the highlights from the entire weekend, all of the home runs that the Yankees hit this morning. And they have been absolutely mashing the baseball. 15 home runs. Oh, we got an extra thing on the screen. Okay, we're still working out the kinks here, folks. Let me take care of that real quick. Opening comments, close it. Bam. All right, so 36 runs they dropped on the Brewers this weekend. There's been a lot of talk about torpedo bats, but I see that other players around the league are starting to use them already. We had Francisco Lindor using one. We had a great call from one of the callers yesterday that said, you know, it's time for the hitters to innovate, right? The pitchers have been innovating for years, but baseball's like a pendulum. It goes back and forth between offense and pitching. At one point, they had to lower the mound to allow for more offense. And then we had, you know, the steroid era. And, you know, if you had a 4 ERA, you were pretty solid. And then you had basically sticky substance era, where there was like a no-hitter every week, right? And the last couple of years, velocity is way up. And now the next thing is going to be more innovation in the bats. And as long as it's legal, you're going to see it. The Yankees may have been first, but they're not going to be the only team that does this, right? If it's successful, you're going to see more people doing it. The fact that it was invented by a Yankees employee doesn't mean the rest of the league can't use it or won't use it. But it does mean that they got to it first. And so far, the results have been great. Jazz Chisholm has been smoking the baseball. He looks really comfortable. We got some calls about him. Judge not using it. And Judge still absolutely insane. 74 watches on. 74 is a legit possibility. You know, back in 2022, breaking Maris's home run record was fun, but it didn't get the coverage that something like McGuire got or Bonds got when they broke the record. Because the record was, you know, 73 home runs from Bonds was seen as almost unattainable, and he still came 12 short of breaking the record in 2022. But he's off to such a fast start. And it seems like he gets better and better every year and gets more efficient at hitting the ball in the air. And with his high exit velocity, that's going to lead to so many home runs. If he stays healthy, 74 is legitimately on the table. And I don't know about you guys, but that would be one of the highlights of my life, to see a Yankee break the home run record. I feel like I could die a happy man if I see Judge hit 74, especially if the Yankees can win a World Series too. But if you say 74 right now, you're not crazy. We've had a number of people comment about it, call about it. What he's doing over the last several years was already insane. But this year, he looks like he is legitimately on a revenge tour, on a mission. He came out of the gate on fire after doing nothing all spring. That just goes to show you, you can't worry about what happens in spring training. As long as everybody's healthy, it's, the veterans, once the season starts, it's a different ballgame. Judge, look, you have to put him in the conversation of the greatest hitters ever. He does things that only the greatest hitters have done. But the one thing on his resume that that does not, in terms of hitting home runs, that he does not have is the MLB record. He doesn't have a 4 home run game. He almost had one. He's got now 3 home run games. Wouldn't shock me if he hits a 4 home run game at some point. And the fact that, they kept pitching to him after he had 3 was insanity because he was clearly locked in. And then yesterday he goes deep, and then they said, you know what, we're done with this guy. We're done. And they stopped pitching to him. But 74, you could see it. You really could see it. Let's talk a little bit about the big 3 for the D-backs. They got some good pitching, man. I know that the Yankees put up some runs against the Brewers, but the D-backs are a better pitching team than the Brewers. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here. Powered by Inside Edge. Call it the data dive. Corbin Burnes. He locates his fastball inside 75% of the time. At least last year he did. He has not thrown a pitch yet this year. His debut will be against the Yankees. That is the highest among starting pitchers in the major leagues. And that could backfire against some of these Yankees right now. We'll talk a little bit about Ben Rice. He is smoking the baseball, and he's made some adjustments to get to that inside pitch. Obviously, Judge's hitting anything you throw up there right now if it's in the strike zone. And Jazz Chisholm, you don't want to come inside on Jazz Chisholm right now. Merrill Kelly. Opponents have a hard hit rate of 52% against Merrill Kelly on fastballs over the last couple of years. That is the 3rd highest among starting pitchers with at least 130 innings pitched. So look for the Yankees to be hunting fastballs. They're going to be trying to jump his fastball, especially if it's early in the count, and you could see some more home runs. If there's going to be a day full of home runs again in the Diamondbacks series, it's going to be against Merrill Kelly. And then Zach Gallen. I wouldn't count on too many home runs against him. He locates the fastball down in the zone 46.3% of the time last year. Highest among starting pitchers in Major League Baseball, and the league average is 24%. So he's well above league average in terms of locating that ball down in the zone. Luis Tejada says, your mouth to God's ears. I'm assuming you mean the NostraDerek prediction. And then Louis Penafiel with another super chat says, Yankees sweep this series. I noticed some small ball and fundamental base running. Keep it up. Absolutely. The base running has been terrific. Big contributors in Bellinger. I think the Martian has run the base as well. Even Goldschmidt, when he's been on, has run. He looks like an actual baseball player. All right, let's move on real quick to the NostraDerek prediction. And so far this season, NostraDerek hitting 1,000, 1-for-1. The first prediction was that Paul Goldschmidt would hit a home run off of Nestor Cortez. He did. I wouldn't count on being right every time, but we got it today, or whatever the day was. Saturday. Yeah. So my prediction for tomorrow is Ben Rice will hit a home run. Ben Rice will go deep. As I mentioned, Corbin Burnes throwing inside a lot. Working the pitch off the inside part of the plate. Ben Rice used to have a hole there, but he's getting to that pitch now. He has adjusted where his hands are, and he's much more compact, and he's getting to that pitch. If you look at the home run that he hit yesterday, as I watched on my Magic Hat this morning, that pitch was inside off the plate, and he put it in the second deck. Last year, he swings over that pitch. 100%. And I think that it's going to take a trip through the league of, him hammering those pitches before the league realizes we got to figure something else out. And Corbin Burns is such a good pitcher. He's not going to adjust his scouting report for Ben Rice. He's going to say, well, Ben Rice hasn't seen my fastball in or my cutter in. And he's going to go after him. And Ben Rice is going to tag him. That's my NostraDerek prediction. Ben Rice going deep tomorrow. All right. Quick word from our sponsor, True Classic. And then we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 voicemails. I got to give a shout out to today's sponsor, True Classic. If you're looking for clothes that don't break the bank and actually fit, True Classic is the move. I am wearing a True Classic shirt right now. Since they sent me a package of them, I've been wearing them pretty much nonstop because they are so comfortable. They're light. They fit well. As you can see, they form to the body well. I've lost a bunch of weight lately, and I just needed some transitional clothing, and they came along at the perfect time. They have long sleeves. They have short sleeves. It's great for taking a walk, for when you go to the gym, or when you're just hanging around the backyard with your dog. So whether you are layering up and getting ready for winter, or trying to relax and enjoy the cool breeze in the springtime or the summertime, True Classic is the way to go. Visit trueclassic.com/stripe. trueclassic.com/stripe and elevate your wardrobe today. All right, so we got some voicemails to get to. Shout out to True Classic. First call is about our rotation. It's kind of long, so I'll cut it off about halfway.
Hey, Derek, Austin. So, these first 3 games have been really awesome, really fun to watch. I just want to comment on the pitching. So watching Marcus Stroman, he didn't pitch badly. It wasn't a terrible start. I think he's going to have, better ones, but historically, he's always been back second half of the year. I don't know whether they're going to rest him or whether they're going to use spot starts, use Cookie Carrasco, what combination of guys they're going to use. Schmidt's already hurt. You don't know what you're going to get the rest of the rotation. You gotta be honest with ourselves. I mean, Cole, he might be done. I mean, he might be finished as a Yankee, and we're not really thinking about, next year or the year after or whatever, but because we lost him for the entire year, but we got to, get used to the fact that he might not ever be the Cole that we, know, the ace that we had ever again.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop you right there. So, one, I think he's going to come back fine, but he will be a little bit older. So I think it's natural to see some regression towards the mean. But, he'll come back, and, he had the internal brace procedure, which means he probably won't have a second surgery. He should be able to get through the next 3 years without having a second surgery. I'd count on him being a solid pitcher when he comes back. I don't think, you're right, he's ever going to be that guy who went 15-1 down the stretch one year with Houston. But he can be a leader on the staff. And, I like that we're basically getting a 2-for-1 deal where he's also a pitching coach. We had another call here that I think is related.
Hey, Derek, the Yankees may have lost Garrett Cole, but the Rangers won the World Series without Jacob deGrom.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It can be done. And the Braves won it without Ronald Acuna Jr. All right, so go through some comments here. Thomas Crowley says, him breaking the home run record would be nice, but the highlight of your life? A little hyperbolic, isn't it? Well, first of all, no, because this is also my profession. It's not only my hobby. My vacation is also my vocation, right? So it would be an enormous boon to my business. It would be a fun year for me as a fan and a great year for me professionally, in terms of enjoying what I'm doing. So no, I think him breaking the home run record, not in a moment. I mean, I'm sure the moment would be climactic and fun, but yeah, it would be a highlight of my life. And fuck you, because, I'm allowed to judge. I'm allowed to take agency over how I feel about the things in my life. So don't be an asshole. Okay. Richard Lee says Judge can hit 65 home runs easy this year. I don't think he would say that it's easy. I think he would tell you that it's very, very difficult to hit any home runs. Off Topic says, I always wondered, how tall are you? I'm about 5'11", about 183 pounds right now. Trying to get down to about 175. You know, that's where we're at. Call from Bobby the Bear.
Derek, GQ Derek, loving your shows, man. Loving your shows. This is Bobby the Bear down here in Atlanta. Just a couple of points for you. Number one, do you sell the fun hats? Number two, you gotta walk the cat too, brother. Not just your doggy. Make sure when you're doing your GQ walk, you take your cat along because you don't want a jealous pussy cat. Number three, you forgot to tell us how you lost the weight. Are you doing gluten-free or something else? Great shows, bro. Later, dude.
Okay, so first of all, to answer your question about the hats, you can find them on Amazon. I've got the link up on the screen. It is Nicky Biggs Novelties Adult Uncle Sam Top Hat. Patriotic red, white, and blue top hats. They're $16.95 on Amazon 2-day Prime. And I've got a bunch of them. I get one every year. As far as losing the weight, I quit soda. I quit sugar entirely. I was eating like a garbage can. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm walking a lot more with my dog. But mostly it's just been diet. It's both. I used to crush about 20 or 25 Dr. Peppers every week while I was working on the show because I'm constantly working. I've switched over to black coffee, and I'm just trying to eat healthier, less soda, all that stuff.
Hey, Derek, Frank, California. Love your show. Great job. We have cardiac closers like Clay Holmes. Now we got a cardiac left fielder in The Martian. And too new to rate. We're still out to the courtroom's still out on judge coming back with a verdict on him. But anyway, go Yankees, crushing it. You're the man. Have a great day.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely get a little nervous out there with The Martian, but I think he's going to hit. We got a comment here from Jay Esco. When is The Martian going to go deep? I mean, NostraDerek hasn't been inspired to predict that yet. I hope soon. I would love it if he would do it tomorrow night against Burns. That would be fun. I think it's going to happen on the home series, though. The D-backs are throwing some righties up there, and he's a lefty. It's just going to take getting one in the air. I think he's had some really patient at-bats from the right side, but he's not much of a power hitter from the right side. I think it's going to come from the left side, the first one. So hopefully the next few games. But he's got his work cut out for him. Maybe he'll get a reliever.
Hey, Derek. It's Brett, longtime super chatter, first-time caller. As I'm sitting here watching the Yankees bludgeon the Brewers again, I guess we're going to have to talk about those quote-unquote illegal bats that the Yankees are now using. For everyone hating, they're approved by Major League Baseball. Keep crying about it, and keep that same energy when your team starts using them. For those non-MIT graduates.
Yep. You're seeing more teams roll it out. So I don't want to hear anybody crying about the bats. They're legal. Anybody can use them.
Hey, Mary Beth here. What another good game. We have a really good offense. I think Jazz gets the belt. I know you're going to give Jazz the belt. Okay. And he also
I think you called in before the end of yesterday's show, so you are correct. Jazz did get the belt, and Jazz swinging the bat really, really well. He apparently loves the torpedo bat. He said that it doesn't change his exit velocity. It just feels like he connects a little bit more solidly. Now, what Michael Kay said makes a lot of sense. That maybe some of those hits that were just kind of fouled off, maybe they become a flare. Some of the ones that were a flare, maybe they become a line drive. Some of the ones that were a line drive, maybe they become a home run. But he's swinging the bat really, really well. All right, thanks for all your calls. We'll be back tomorrow night after the game for the post-game show. I'm going to be doing more work on the show. We've had a couple of glitches so far. We had the glitch today. We had the Stroman we had Rodon's name instead of Stroman yesterday. Hey, we're rolling out a bunch of new stuff rather fast here, but we'll be running at full steam and in mid-season form, forthwith. But thanks for all your calls, super chats, all that stuff. I'll see you next time. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.